have been Mark's friend since we were 5 years old. That's nearly 40 years. Great years. I have been a member of the clergy of the Universal Life Church for 5 years. Why? I don't know. But after today, I will have made that $5 sign-up fee worthwhile. While I am very experienced at performing baptisms, this is my first performance as a wedding officiant. Please be gentle. Jan and Mark would like to take a moment to acknowledge their mothers and thank them for all their love and support throughout their lives. Unfortunately, Jan's mother's health did not allow her to be here today, but Jan is thankful that Frida and Mark have been able to meet and enjoy each other's company. Although it's now been several years since Helene has passed, it's special times like these where she is especially missed. Unfortunately, Jan was not able to experience for herself Helene's sense of humor and love for her family, but we know that she would have loved Jan as much as we do. Jan and Mark have asked me to tell the story of how they came to this moment. Over chamomile tea a few nights ago, Jan and Mark lovingly recapped how they met. It's been a fairly quick ascent from dating in the land of misfits for both of them to standing here in front of their loved ones on their wedding day. Jan and Mark met online on a dating site called chemistry.com. After a few rounds of screening each other's profiles, they went on a meet, Mark's unsexy term for a date, on April 12, 2009. Quickly figuring out that they had the right chemistry, their meet was extended to include a romantic walk through Jan's Silver Lake neighborhood. That was it. They were smitten. And on their next date, they shared their first kiss. But first, shyness kicked in at Mark's apartment as they sat on the couch for 90 minutes until Mark asked Jan, "Can I kiss you?" Mark, today there is no need to ask Jan for a kiss. It's included at the end of the ceremony. On their third date, when they went to Damon's birthday party a few days later, they had a hot makeout session in Jan's car. Their relationship was going full speed ahead. On a trip to Hawaii in December that year, Jan and Mark talked about moving in together. A few short months later, they were in what is now their current love nest on Darlington Avenue. These two darling people have a deep respect for each other, allowing them to talk through anything and head off any communication issues as they arise. From that very first meet, Jan and Mark have been on the same page, finishing each other's sentences and completing each other in a way most couples envy. There's no dramatic proposal story, no Mark on bended knee, but how we arrived at this moment is even better. They've been thinking about getting married to each other for a few months after they moved in together. Neither one said anything to the other until ultimately a somewhat botched plan to ask Jan's dad for her hand led Mark to confess to Jan that he had been planning on proposing for over a month. And a day or so later, Laura and I got a call that Mark and Jan were engaged, to which we thought, yes, that's how it's supposed to be. Now we'll have a reading from Nora O'Connell. Nora is one of Jan's oldest friends. They met in college. Jan was living in a house where a previous renter had skipped out without paying. Nora subletted the room afterwards, and they've been friends ever since.
So this morning we were having breakfast with Jan, just at a table, very simple, some things from the grocery store, some loaves of bread, some yogurt, some nuts, some fruit in little containers. And Jan, as always, was offering people things, and people had sort of a blob of yogurt. She said, "Oh no, you have to add some fruit. Oh, here's some granola. Oh wait, you can put this here too." And my husband said, "Wow, Jan has a way of making everything gourmet." And if you know Jan, you know this is true, but it's not just about food. It's about life. Jan has a way of making even little things an adventure. We were listening to music, and I said, "Oh, this band always makes me think of Jan." And someone said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, Jan introduced me to it. Jan introduced me to fresh garlic. Jan introduced me to grated Parmesan. Jan introduced me to homemade soup. So before you wonder about my deprived childhood, my mom was not into cooking. But just to say that Jan is somebody who always relishes adventure, not only in the big moments, in the trips that you always hear about them taking, but actually in everyday life. And that's why I'm so happy that she found Mark, because I think that's something that they really share and inspire in each other. And having known Jan for over 20 years, it is just so terrific to see her with someone who not only shares her spirit of life, but is so supportive and loving and caring the way that they are. So with that, I want to read this blessing. It's actually an Apache blessing that was read at my wedding, and want to share this with Jan and Mark. Now you will feel no rain, for each of you will be the shelter for each other. Now you will feel no cold, for each of you will be the warmth for the other. Now you are two persons, but there is only one life before. Go now to your dwelling place to enter into the days of your life together, and may your days be long and good upon the earth. Treat yourselves and each other with respect, and remind yourselves often of what brought you together. Give the highest priority to the tenderness, gentleness, and kindness that your connection deserves. When frustration, difficulty, and fear assail your relationship, as they threaten all relationships at one time or another, remember to focus on what is right between you, not only the part that seems wrong. In this way, you can ride out the storms when clouds hide the face of the sun in your lives, remembering that even if you lose sight of it for a moment, the sun is still there. And if each of you takes responsibility for the quality of your life together, it will be marked by abundance and delight. And I think none of us have any doubt that that will happen.
Thank you, Nora. And now, Nikki Riley, Mark's niece, will be singing Everything I Have Is Yours. Nikki is joining us from Mississippi. She attends Kazi Esco Junior High School, where she was just voted her 8th grade class most dependable, class favorite, and wittiest.
Well, I'm happy Jan and Mark met because I get a new aunt that can buy me presents. Everything I have is yours, you're part of me. Everything I have is yours, my destiny. I will gladly give the sun to you. If the sun were only mine, I will gladly give this earth to you. And the stars that shine, everything that I possess, I offer you. Let my dream of happiness come through. I would gladly spend my life waiting at your begging call. Everything I have is yours, my life, my all.
Aw.
Wow, thank you, Nikki. Billie Holiday who? At this point, let's get serious, as I ask you both 3 questions, and I'd like you to answer them together. Do you promise to encourage and inspire each other, to laugh and to comfort each other in times of sorrow and struggle?
I do.
Do you promise to love in good times and in bad, when life seems easy and when it seems hard, when your love is simple and when it is an effort?
I do.
Do you promise to accept each other, stay open to each other, and be willing to face change as you both change?
I do.
I believe you have something you'd like to say to Jan.
Jan, I fell in love with you for your qualities, abilities, and your outlook on life. From our first date, from our first real date, when we shared our meal, to to your difficulty in accepting my compliments. I look forward to sharing the rest of my life with you.
Mark, I fell in love with you for the qualities, abilities, and your outlook on life. You won me over from the beginning. You're my Band-Aid. You make me laugh, and you're my true partner.
And I think there's something you both like to say at the same time. So
Yeah, what is that? Oh, yeah. I love you.
I love you.
You're my
my best friend.
And today,
I give myself
myself
to you
to you
in marriage.
in marriage.
Perfect. Okay, Mark, repeat after me. I promise to cherish you
I promise to cherish you
and to always hold you in the highest regard.
and to always hold you in the highest regard.
These vows I promise to you today and all the days of our life.
These vows I promise to you today and all the days of our life.
Jan, repeat after me. I promise to cherish you and to always hold you in the highest regard.
I promise to cherish you and to always hold you in the highest regard.
These vows I promise to you today and all the days of our life.
These vows I promise to you today and all the days of our life.
Excellent. Who has the rings? Thank you. Mark, repeat after me. I give you this ring as a symbol of my love for you.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my love for you.
I place it on your finger as a visible sign of the vows which we have made today. I place it on your finger
I place it on your finger
as a visible sign.
sign of the vows we made today.
Excellent. Yeah. I give you this ring as a symbol of my love for you.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my love for you.
I place it on your finger
I place it on your finger
as a visible sign of the vows
as a visible sign of the vows
which we have made today.
which we've made today.
By the power vested in me by the state of California and the Universal Life Church, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss.